Alrighty, well, hello everyone and welcome. We're thrilled you could join us today to dive into the NetSuite Integration Platform. We're gonna maybe wait a couple of seconds here before we kind of fully get kicked off, but just quickly by way of introduction, my name is Brian Bendo and I'm a client partner within the NetSuite practice here at Plative. And I'm joined by my colleague, Rob McEwen. Rob, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome. My name's Rob McEwen. I'm here in Toronto and with Brian. I head up the ERP practice here at Plative, head up the NetSuite line of business. So I've been doing this for many years. Many years ago, my company got acquired by Plative. We're big into Salesforce. We're now also bigger into NetSuite. And I'm excited to have you all here. If there's anything I can help with, be it integration related or NetSuite related, happy to always jump on a call. So hopefully I'll get to meet more of you face to face. I will be going off camera when I do the demo so I can switch computers.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. And the intent of today's webinar is to provide a view into how Plative is helping companies connect systems like Salesforce and NetSuite, really kind of help automate workflows, modernize their operations with the NetSuite Integration Platform. So whether you're looking to boost efficiency or streamline integrations, you'll leave here today with some practical insights that you can apply right away. So feel free to drop questions into the chat at any point in time. I have the kind of chat and Q&A in my other screen here. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go through things. We'll try to maybe answer any questions organically as we go through the content or save time for Q&A at the end. So before we dive in, let me just give you kind of a quick overview of today's agenda so you know what to expect. We'll start with who we are as an organization. Then we'll look at some of the common challenges organizations face when connecting systems like Salesforce and NetSuite. From there, we'll walk through how NetSuite Integration Platform addresses these challenges with real-world examples. Rob already kind of teased that he will be doing a demonstration, so you'll get to see some of that low-code automation, real-time data sync, and the ability to really kind of simplify the migration of data. And then, as mentioned there a few seconds ago, Q&A throughout to make sure any questions from the group are addressed. So a little bit about who we are at Plative. We're both a Salesforce and NetSuite consultancy focused on helping organizations unify their business from marketing to ERP. We operate across a number of verticals: financial services, nonprofit, software, manufacturing, professional services, you name it. And the idea of trying to consolidate systems onto leading platforms is front and center, and even louder now than it was before. We've seen many companies consolidate onto Salesforce and NetSuite and really benefit by having a strong foundation for growth, really by centralizing their critical operations across both CRM and ERP. Our philosophy, as the title denotes, is that these two platforms, these industry titans, are incredibly powerful when connected. The reality is many companies struggle to figure out the right approach and the right tool in order to get there. And that's where we can help. We have a variety of different services here at Plative to address an organization's current state of affairs, whether it's your first time exploring NetSuite or Salesforce, maybe you're hoping to migrate off of QuickBooks or Sage and onto a leading platform, or you're simply looking for an organization to help plan your future systems landscape. You might be leveraging different tools, and we'll address a tool today to really kind of help you in that transformation. But companies are always wondering kind of where do they go from here? How do they continue to evolve as the business scales? And with that, we have ongoing services to help organizations in every iteration of their transformation journey. Pulling on that thread of the current state of affairs, few companies have a strategy today to manage their data effectively, leaving them feel overwhelmed. Many companies spend the majority of their time searching for, cleaning, and organizing data rather than that step toward insight. The focus on data management consumes resources and slows decision-making, leaving little time for that critical stage of data analysis. Yet it is in analyzing that data, identifying trends, uncovering patterns, and generating actionable insights is really where the true value lies. Organizations that shift their focus from simply managing the data to leveraging it for more informed decision-making can unlock efficiencies, drive growth, gain competitive edge that some of the organizations in the preparation phase often miss. And not all integrations are created the same. Not all integrations, unfortunately, are successful. And when we hear as to why integrations are successful, it's even validated further by this study by Forrester, that these are some of the typical things that tend to get in the way. Addressing talent gaps, controlling costs, ensuring business requirements are properly captured, and then ensuring that executive support and oversight from a leadership standpoint. What we typically see when an organization comes to us, the lead to quote process, there's a collection of systems that are being leveraged. They might have some solutions like a MailChimp for capturing initial interest, or maybe leveraging that platform or something similar from a marketing automation standpoint. They may also be leveraging a more robust CRM like Salesforce, or once again, potentially HubSpot, but then other data living in other tools. They might be leveraging from a customer service perspective, like a Zendesk. So from lead to quote and customer management, it tends to be a fairly disparate and disconnected process. That same story can be found and said when it comes to the order to cash and finance operations. That's kind of where we tend to see and hear very similar things, where organizations will have AR, AP, and their GL in one system, but managing inventory is a very labor-intensive kind of process. Could be in a Google Sheet or an Excel document. There could be nuances around billing because there's a software component, a hardware or physical product component. There may also be some usage to be captured around that software, which might require the need for another solution like a Zora or a Maxio. Regardless of that kind of cloud hairball, it tends to grow pretty quickly and substantially. And the challenge is even more so is really around that lack of integration from the lead to quote to the order to cash process. And this tends to be one of the biggest hamstrings we see in organizations that are looking to scale. There's not a system, or at least even a landscape, that can ensure that information from your first touch point with that prospect or client to then hopefully winning their business, creating the contract, the orders, fulfilling on those sales orders for the hardware, potentially the software as well, and then all the nuances around the billing that's really required to ensure the company's paid on time. So this results in a number of pain points, and some of that being just the simple manual errors of ensuring data from one system to another is accurate. There could be missed upsell or cross-sell opportunities where maybe the finance team is not always necessarily translating information back to the sales team in a timely manner. Redundancy is occurring, lost productivity. The list goes on and on and on. So
can I jump in, Brian?
Yeah,
real quick. I noticed we have some of our nonprofit friends in attendance today, and this also holds true for the whole process of donor management, the process of ensuring that what they donate makes it into the financial system, it's restricted or unrestricted, and that there's full visibility back and forth to the donor, but the financial state of affairs of their funds, for example. So regardless of whether you're managing donations or you're managing prospects who are going to buy something, all these errors are they apply in both situations.
Good catch on the attendee list, Rob. Thank you. So as I was saying there, just to wrap this up, the common challenges fall in, one, not having a connected platform, but also not necessarily knowing where to start. And the benefit of working with Palative, irregardless of integration approach, is that we can help you understand really where Salesforce starts, where it should stop, and where NetSuite should begin, and one step further, what tool you should use, because we view ourselves as masters of unifying your lead to cash process, illustrated in this workflow right here. And although these lines may seem a little simplistic, there can be a lot of complexity behind them. And to meet the needs of our clients, we need to be able to rely on a tool that can scale and solve the most simplistic use case, but also not necessarily something that could be a barrier as they look to run on a platform. And that's why we've been very excited with the release of the NetSuite Integration Platform and what that means for our customers that are looking for a platform that can impact their business in the now, but also stand the test of time for the future.
I'll just add that by working with us, you'll get access to our history of best practices in terms of reference architecture. For certainly Salesforce can be very variable in terms of how it's implemented and what clouds are involved. And NetSuite can be a little bit variable as well when you have, for example, if you have suite billing or not suite billing, or RevRec or no RevRec. So we can bring to the table already tried and true, proven architecture to sync the systems up.
So the NetSuite Integration Platform, it empowers organizations by focusing on kind of three critical areas. First, it excels at seamlessly connecting a wide array of applications and systems, whether those applications are hosted on-premise or in the cloud, like we referenced for Salesforce. And by providing a centralized framework for integration, it really enables companies to unify their data and processes across those disparate systems, eliminating silos and ensuring consistent data flow. Additionally, the platform does support scalable, secure, and manageable integrations that can grow with any organization, ensuring long-term flexibility and adaptability in an evolving technology landscape. To Rob's point, maybe you start with Salesforce Sales Cloud, expand into Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Field Service. There are capabilities to really kind of extend that as time goes on to support you wherever the business may go next. And the platform does come equipped with a robust library of pre-built connectors that simplify connecting NetSuite to systems like Salesforce, e-commerce platforms like Shopify, and other business applications within customer experience, HCM, so on and so forth. So these connectors come with ready-made mappings for common objects, support real-time or scheduled data synchronization, and include low-code configuration tools for easy customization. There's built-in error handling, logging, and monitoring to ensure that data is consistent, while also automating those key processes such as maybe a simple customer data sync or a more detailed order-to-cash workflow and inventory updates as well. So by leveraging these pre-built connectors, organizations can really benefit by saving time, reduce integration errors, and maintain a scalable, unified ecosystem that supports growth and operational efficiency. Second, it drives advanced automation to significantly reduce manual errors, ensuring that data flows accurately and consistently across all the connected systems. There is a self-serve visual builder, which Rob will give a view into today, that gives users intuitive drag and drop control over integrations, enabling faster development, deployment, and monitoring without really any deep technical expertise needed. This level of oversight really empowers businesses to maintain better control of their processes, track performance in real time, and quickly adapt to any change within the business or anything going on around the business. And then finally, it supports organizations in making informed decisions. There is real-time and comprehensive visibility across all connected systems, enabling organizations to be able to monitor operations, track performance, and once again, make those informed decisions, but now with confidence. By centralizing data flow and standardizing those processes, it ensures data consistency across all departments, fostering collaboration, and really reducing the risk of errors or conflicting information. Also included are robust security features of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, ensuring enterprise-grade security, access controls, and compliance safeguards. So in short, The NetSuite Integration Platform unlocks connected, intelligent, and scalable operations, enabling organizations to work smarter, move faster, and respond effectively to changing business demands. And the first step to successful integration is having the right partner. So if you remember nothing else from today, we can help. If you're inspired by anything you see, we do a series of integration readiness assessments that can help plot your journey to going from a world of disparate tools to a connected ecosystem. So I've said a lot over the past kind of 15, 16 minutes or so. So without further ado, Rob, I'll give you the mic and stop sharing my screen, and we'll get a live view of the NetSuite Integration Platform now.
Okay, let's figure this out. We're using a new webinar tool. Share my screen. There we go. All right, you're seeing my tab there?
Yep.
Is this my screen's wide enough for you to sort of make sense?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you everybody for watching what you've seen so far and sticking with me. I am not a integration expert by any stretch, so I'll try to click around here in ways that make sense. We are logged into Oracle Cloud. Basically, NetSuite Integration Platform is Oracle Integration Cloud, has all that power. But by going with Oracle, you have a lot of other tools as well. And so as I'm logging in here, I can see I can spool up storage, I can spool up compute power, I can go and build on AI, whether it's speech recognition, text recognition, or other image recognition, etc. Build your own agents, and this can all be integrated into everything you do in the rest of your business with what I'm going to show you today. So there's definitely infinite scalability here on the Oracle platform that NetSuite clients can take advantage of. So I am going to, looking at my instance I have spooled up here, and we have a demo instance of Oracle Cloud. I just went and looked at the overall settings. So overall, I can do a bunch of stuff here. I can monitor all the settings. I don't have the integrations turned on right at the moment, so there's nothing to see. But this is a fully managed and environment where you can tell exactly what's going on across all of your different instances that you might have. So I'm going to open the console and show you how we go about building some flows and just what we have going on. So when I start here, I don't know what these boxes are at the top. They used to have images in them, but I can see, just to get started, I can get access to all of the different integrations, pre-built integrations that Oracle Cloud has to integrate with, whether that's Fusion or Salesforce or what have you, AWS, etc. We can connect to anything we want. Even connect to Facebook, if that's your jam. I'm going to go to my projects here, and I have a number of integrations that I've just plugged in to the system. So we have a FTP upload that we can use, Magento, QuickBooks. If I wanted to import a bunch of data from QuickBooks, it makes this relatively easy. I'm going to go in and look at my Salesforce to NetSuite integrations that we're yoinking around with here today. So nice thing is, when we come in, we can just add connections or integrations to anything, which I'll do in a second. I have other things I can do, including things like RPA, robot process automation, where a robot can log into your green screen system, but log into your on-prem system and actually use it like a user does. That's not available in a lot of other systems, but I just thought I'd point that little icon out there. I have a few connections here to a couple different instances of NetSuite and Salesforce. When I go to add an integration, like you saw on the screen there just previously, you have all of these systems that you can integrate with. FTP site, integrate. We have a lot of customers who integrate with Eventbrite. A lot of customers who integrate with Concur or Box. What are those here? Your Google Calendar, you can build some automation there. JDE, God forbid, and Marketo, other tools as well. So there's NetSuite on the list. You can also, with the, if I look for just REST, we can just connect with anything that has a REST endpoint or, or other types of endpoints. So makes it very, very easy. And if I look here at my connections, I can connect to these systems in a variety of ways. So if I'll just view the Salesforce connection, that's just a standard username password policy we're just connecting to. So that's pretty simple. We have, in this case, we've set up the NetSuite integration with the token inside of NetSuite that goes to my test drive account that unfortunately I just lost access to. So just this morning. So I messed up my own account. So I can't go and see it, but it's there, it's connected, and you'll see it, grab data from it. So I can add connections very, very easily. It takes a couple of seconds, and these connections can be used across projects if need be.
And Rob, sorry to interrupt. We're still just seeing the integration instance, the plate of learning. It doesn't look like you drilled down into it.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Jeez.
There we go.
Terrible. Okay, so I was talking there, and everyone's like, "What?" Okay.
Too many monitors.
Yeah, don't be afraid to yell at me there, Brian. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of a recap just because I was showing some things. So I am in my project. I can do a bunch of stuff in that project. I can watch it, whatever. I can make these connections. So when I go to make a connection, I can just scroll and pick. And if I have credentials for Oracle, AWS, what have you, I can connect to Siebel if that is what your company uses. So very easy to make these connections, monitor them, keep them updated, share them around if appropriate across a project. A couple other things that I'm not going to get into here, but I can build my own lookups across systems. Salesforce and NetSuite use different countries. So we got a country lookup table that we can normalize values across multiple systems. Maybe use Marketo or a Pardot. It also has different country nomenclature. You can build a mapping table that automatically bridges those differences. And I can build my own functions that run as part of these integrations. So very quickly, if I go in and look at, let's say, the Salesforce to NetSuite standard process, still sharing here. Okay, perfect. This is what got loaded when we just said, hey, I want to link those up. And so in this case, if I want to understand what's going on, I say to myself, well, we'll start at the top here and view what is this Salesforce trigger. And basically what this does is connects to the streaming API for opportunities that's been set up in that instance, so I can monitor that real-time connection. And when something happens for those opportunities, it then goes into these flows. And so it's picking up some variables. You can see it's got subsidiary ID from to, etc. And then I am going to grab NetSuite and say, is the customer existing? So ensuring that there's no duplicates created, I go and check. And then this is that mapping table for in this case, what is coming across from the account record is connected up and looking for the external ID. So if there's an external ID in NetSuite, if you use NetSuite, you know what an external ID is. If there is an external ID there with that ID, customer exists, so move to a different part of the process. So if we go down through here, we can return our errors. We are having conditional statements here. And so you say, okay, we got the Salesforce customer. If they don't exist, create the new customer. And here's that mapping between the two. So for the customer, I can see there's a bunch of things that are mapped. And what I can do to make this a little simpler is I'll just filter and say that the fields are all mapped on both sides, and just apply so I can see that a little bit easier. So there's a subsidiary name and ID, and this is what it's fetching for that initial understanding of what I need to connect. In this case, I'd need the right subsidiary to go into. So I'll go back, and I can keep cruising down here. So all the way down through to getting the line items off of the opportunity, creating that sales order, and mapping the actual line level detail. So this all came in when we installed that connection. So I see my records, I got my quantity, I have my product, I have the NetSuite ID for that product. And over here, I'll see I have the entity internal ID that I'm going to create. And farther down here, if I just filter, let's just say mapped, make it easier on everybody. I can see it's connecting to my items over in NetSuite, and it's connecting to the internal ID and the quantity, and it's going to, in this particular flow, pull onto the transaction all the NetSuite default descriptions and stuff. Obviously, if I didn't want to do that, I'd map the other info from Salesforce. So it's very easy to connect these up. Even someone like me, I'm not a developer, can come in and learn the fundamentals. So if I wanted to do a new integration using one of these connections, let's say I want to create the contact search. So I want to sync contacts. Very easy. I'll come in here. I will create a new integration. Just to keep things easy on me, I'm going to run it on a schedule. And I can say contact sync NetSuite Salesforce, something like this. I can put in keywords so I can tag things so I can find stuff later. And I can make this integration available to other projects. So I do it once, that contact integration is available to others. So when I hit create, it'll create me one of these things. So it'll say, okay, what do you want to connect to? So I want to connect to the Salesforce connection for contacts and bring them over to NetSuite. And it should load. I got the spinning.
It's loading, Rob. We had a question in the chat from Scott. He asked, is it possible to join multiple Salesforce objects into a single workflow?
Yep, that's just based on your lookup. In fact, I am actually going to do that here, and connect up the company and the contact. So I am going to edit this connection. No, I'm not going to edit the connection. I am going to edit this particular guy, and I'm going to call this my contact get. And I want to query information, and as opposed to creating or updating anything, I'm just going to fetch data from Salesforce. And I am going to so this is prompting me here. It says I need to do a select statement. So this is where you can do your joins if need be. So I'm going to query the system. I'm going to exclude deleted archive records, and I'm going to simply select first name, last name. I'm going to get the account name and the account ID from the and I'm going to get the NetSuite ID if there's a connecting NetSuite ID from the contact table. I'm just going to grab the 10 records. So I'm in here. I'm not a super expert in SQL statements, so I'm going to test my query. Test my query. There we go. So it is going to, in real time here, reach out to that system, assuming I haven't screwed up the password and the connection, and it's going to fetch that, and it returns the XML result, which I can read. Human readable. I see the header types. I see it's got Baxter, with no last name in here, and it's got a phone number, et cetera, et cetera. This is just my sample set that I'm going with. So I like that. I hit continue, and I'm going to finish. It's just querying that information. So then what I will do here is I need to, so I've got all the information. I need to run through all those connections and create them. So I'm going to say for each connection, I need to go and grab from the queries the records. Okay, I need those records. I don't want to, I could process them in parallel, but I need those records, and I need to scroll through those records. So I just drag and drop that across, and you can see, I can see everything here. So I can start time, I can track variables, so I can trigger retries, etc. Or operate on, a lot of people do things based on like when they do the period close and whatnot. So we can grab all that information and we can schedule based on it. So for each of those, I'm going to go through and I want to connect over to NetSuite. So we'll call this endpoint create contacts in NetSuite. And I follow the prompts. In this case, I'm going to synchronously, going through all these records, just do a simple add. And here it's got all that I can do with NetSuite. It understands that connection. So I can add, delete, get, etc. And I have all the objects that have come over from that specific instance of NetSuite. So in this case, you'll see some things here. It has gift certificates turned on. It's got inbound shipments and inventory transfers. So those are all turned on. So it's obviously a products type of account. But I'm just going to do an add. I just simply want to add those contacts and hit OK. It is field is required. Oh, field name. I think I do this. Oops, there we go. Oh, sorry, I didn't add contacts. That's funny. I have to add contacts and say I want to go add contacts. So that's what I need to do, and then I'm finished. Pretty easy, except for my silly mistake. Once these are I'm going to go and create this. It knows, hey, you've got to map these. So I'm going to edit the mapping, and in this case, it's very simple. I can see here everything that I've tried to do in this particular flow so far. So I want to get the response from Salesforce and the records, and I want to see the contact over in NetSuite. And here is where I just drag and drop stuff over. So there's the first name, there's the account. I'm going to grab the account name and link that to, oops, I have to go down here. The name of the company, account name goes to name, and I can just simply, I could show just all my unmapped fields, and I could go grab all this. The NetSuite, I'm going to map that to the internal ID. If it doesn't exist, I want to go over there. Oh yeah, that's what and this contact ID, I want to be my external ID, and so on and so forth. I just go and grab these things and scroll around, and away we go. That is how easy it is to get started at getting some data moving back and forth. In this case, doing a bulk load of some contacts into NetSuite. We can do this from QuickBooks. We can do this to on-prem systems if need be with this Oracle NetSuite Integration Platform. It has all the power of Oracle available to now the average NetSuite admin or user who wants to start configuring some multi-way integrations between systems. As you saw there, we can grab any objects, we can time them, we can put all sorts of conditionality, we can normalize data, we can run our own scripts, we can hit generative AI if we need to. if there's a description coming across and we need to interpret that, or we have a payload that we want an AI summary of or something, we can do all that stuff. So truly, Oracle is one of the most highly scalable cloud platforms out there. It's ultimately what NetSuite runs on, and it can be yours if you wish to use it as your iPaaS. And without boring people further on building more flows, Brian, I think I'll end it there, and we'll see if there are any questions.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Well, now that you've seen the platform in action, let's, to Rob's point, open it up for questions. There's a few already, but if there's any burning ones, feel free to drop them in the Q&A box, and we'll tackle as many as we can. Rob, looks like the first one, if an integration error occurs, like maybe a record fails to sync, how is that surfaced to the team?
So in the system, there are the ability to monitor those errors right from the dashboard. Those would be like right on the dashboard of me as an admin. But I can also, I don't know if you saw it in one of the flows, I can schedule alerts like in the flow. If an error occurs, I can trap that error and I can send notifications to people and either send that notification back to the system, like back to Salesforce or back to NetSuite that the error occurred. That's what we typically do. If you implement with us, on each record, there'll be a synchronization status field that you can see right inside of NetSuite and says success or this was the error, and same thing in Salesforce. So awesome. Hopefully, yeah, that answers the question. It's pretty easy to manage.
Another question, is this bi-directional? Do we have the ability to push data from NetSuite to Salesforce?
So yes, it is absolutely bi-directional. We can sync and we can sync data on a field by field level. We can determine which system is the master. But we can do more than just go bi-directional in this platform. We can hit multiple systems simultaneously. So let's say you're using Marketo and a lead comes in. We can update Salesforce and we can update NetSuite and we can update ServiceNow. Whatever systems you have, all we need is a connection, and those flows can move data all around any direction.
Awesome. Another question for you. How does NSIP compare to other iPaaS tools? Celigo, Boomi?
So that's a great question. We have, if you want to engage with us, we'll sit down with you and we have a whole presentation on what the differences are. We are somewhat agnostic. Different customers are going to use different things. And so if you have an Informatica or a MuleSoft or a Jitterbit or Celigo, what's the other one? Workato, Zapier, we have opinions and we have people on the team who've used every single one of those tools I mentioned. So NSIP on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, it can scale up to as big as you want. It is truly very, very, very powerful. It has a lot of functionality that some of the smaller tools absolutely do not have. You're never going to be in NSIP and saying, "Oh, geez, maybe I don't have enough horsepower here." There's low-end tools like Zapier, where Workato's getting a little bit better, that we see clients use. And then once they get to a certain number of records they're trying to sync, things start timing out. They start having trouble managing them. They don't have all the horsepower that you might need or the functionality. Tools like MuleSoft, like Celigo are very competitive. And right now, the iPaaS industry is highly competitive. Come to us, sit down. We can bring a couple vendors to the table that make sense for your business or your organization, and they can fight it out monetarily. So it is something where the customer is really in the driver's seat here, and there's a lot of information that allow you to pick the right platform for you. And for a lot of our clients, NSIP is going to be it. But a lot of them are on Celigo, and then a lot of our Salesforce clients have already invested in MuleSoft. Very comparable to what is here in NSIP.
Awesome. So a buffet of options, it sounds like.
True buffet, very tasty.
Looks like our last question, Rob, is around what kind of support does Plative offer post integration go live?
We have a program, our Innovate program, which allows clients to work with us long term and get access to our entire team. If you need NetSuite help, there are you'll have defined people who will help you on your instance and on your account. If you need NSIP assistance, we can help. Those team members will be staffed and available to you to use to continue to innovate on these platforms. And that's ultimately what these are. They're foundational platforms that allow you to automate the heck out of your entire organization. So we are there to advise, to build, to get hands to keyboard. It has been known that I have jumped in and created save searches, workflows, etc. for clients in a pickle. But we have a very solid team here at Plative who can help you end to end, from lead through to customer support, through to billing, rev rec, accounting, the whole 9 yards. We'd be happy to assist you in all those endeavors.
Awesome. And on that note, I think that kind of wraps up the Q&A. So to kind of put a bow on everything, whether you're looking to streamline operations, eliminate manual processes, or gain visibility across your business, the NetSuite Integration Platform, as we kind of walked through today, really provides the foundation to get you there. And we'd love to help take you to that next step. So thank you all for joining us today and for your great questions. We look forward to helping you unlock the full potential of NetSuite and your connected business systems. Enjoy the rest of your day.